Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho. Today I've got kind of a laid-back, chill commentary for you guys. I think it's going to be a pretty funny commentary. So, over the past weekend, if you guys didn't know, there was an esports gaming event called MLG Anaheim. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the MLG Major League Gaming organization. They're a huge company. Excuse me, they're the premier North American esports company that always holds competitions in Call of Duty Call of Duty titles. Ever since like Call of Duty 4, I think, when they hosted nationals. It might have been a little bit different. It might not have been under MLG. But anyways, I'm getting off track. I attended MLG Anaheim for the second year in a row. Just this past weekend. I think it might have been 2 weekends. Was it 2 weekends ago? No, it was just last weekend. All right, so yeah, I attended, and it was a really fun experience. I always like watching competitive Call of Duty. That's kind of my thing. And after that, I really like watching competitive StarCraft 2. And those two games for me are like, me personally, they're the most fun esports to watch. Call of Duty goes first, or any Call of Duty to begin with, because Call of Duty tournaments are a little bit less frequent than most other esports tournaments. And next up is either StarCraft 2 or Counter Strike CS:GO. And then after that, maybe like fighting games like Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 4. What other fighting games are there? Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or no, is it Marvel vs. Capcom 4? I don't know. But anyways, regardless, I really like watching esports, and I attended MLG Anaheim for that reason. And the reason why I go to MLG Anaheim, or if the reason why I try to go to other esports events like this, is because when you go to esports events in person, it's a lot different from just sitting at home and watching live streams. Sure, if you sit at home and watch live streams on like Twitch or MLG.TV, then it's really convenient. There's no doubt about it. I get to play window browser games like Faster Than Light (FTL), if you guys know that game, while I'm watching the streams, because I have a dual monitor setup that allows me to play something on one monitor and watch the live streams on the other monitor. And it's really convenient for me. I have the comforts of my home. I don't really have to dress up for anything. Well, not that I really need to dress up for MLG Anaheim. I just have the comforts of my home while watching esports live streams on my computer. But the reason why you want to go there, or the reason why I want to go there, is because, like I said, the experience is a lot different. When you sit in a crowd that's cheering for whatever team that's up there, or whichever player's up there, for in StarCraft 2's case, it's a really different experience. I really like it, because I'm a guy who really likes hype. I don't really show hype, but I like hype. I like the fact that I like to see people get hyped for something. Whether it be esports, whether it be for a player, a team, or just a really big play in general. Someone makes a big play. Someone gets a 3-4 piece. Someone gets a clutch. Someone gets an ace in Call of Duty. Crowd goes wild, or sometimes. So I really like that, and being in the crowd while everyone goes crazy over what something did, or what something happened. That's kind of a experience that you can't really get anywhere else. Being part of the hype crowd, basically, in a good way, not the bad way. But yeah. So what happened was that on, I think, Sunday, was it Championship Sunday? It might have been either Saturday or Sunday, where e.g., it was Evil Geniuses versus Optic Gaming on the Call of Duty streams. I was sitting basically in the middle of the crowd. I had a really good seat, and it was more towards the back, but it was in the middle of the crowd, so I had a really good seat. And the big screens up there, at the venue, if you guys didn't go there yourselves, or if you guys haven't watched the MLG streams, how they set up the Call of Duty stage is that in the middle they have this really giant screen that shows like the caster's view, and on both sides, on either side, they have these two split quad screens where one of them shows one team's player's view, and the other one shows the other player's team's view, or the team player's view. Basically, you could see every single player's perspective if you really wanted to, but you could also watch the caster's view in the very middle, and that's what most people watched. And if the experience was there just in case you wanted to. If you were just curious, watch a specific player's point of view and just follow them throughout the game. But anyways, so I had a really good seat. I was sitting in the middle, and like I said, it was Evil Geniuses versus Optic Gaming. And what happened was, near me, about maybe a couple seats to my left, across the aisle, I should say, is that these group of guys were cheering for EG. Now, what you need to understand, if you guys are not familiar with the Call of Duty scene, is that Optic Gaming is by far, bar none, the most popular Call of Duty competitive team. Like, I don't really know how to gauge the popularity. Let's put it this way. If Optic Gaming is playing, no one is cheering for the other team. Let's just put it that way. The entire crowd, like the entire front section of the crowd, were all wearing Optic Gaming shirts, like green wall shirts everywhere. And maybe a couple MV fans here and there, maybe a couple TK guys too, maybe a couple FaZe dudes. But for the most part, the vast majority of them are on Optic Gaming. That's how popular they are. So naturally, the vast majority of the crowd is cheering for Optic Gaming. That's completely understandable, because they're really, really popular. Kind of like TSM and League of Legends, let's put it that way. But, there were, like I said, there was these group of guys who were cheering for EG. Now, I think it was the first match, the winners final, between EG and Optic and OG. And what these guys would do is, whenever EG made a big play, which was a lot, because EG has a lot of good players, you know, fucking Karma, Aches, TP, and Crim6. What more do I need to say? I mean, they've won the World Championships, for God's sake. But in any case, whenever they made a big play, or whenever something big, they did something big, they're the same. They would really cheer. Like they would cheer wildly. Like most of the time when Optic Gaming fans cheered, they'd be like, there would be like a roar throughout the crowd, and people would clap. These guys would just fucking scream. Like scream. They would holler. They would hoot. They kind of remind me of the hooligans at European soccer, or I should say football, games. Over at, across the pond over in Europe. You know how people, how European soccer fans or football fans go wild over soccer games. These guys kind of were like that. Like they would go crazy. They would go absolutely fucking nuts over whenever EG did something big. And the main difference between the Optic fans and those few EG fans was that there was one guy who kept screaming insults. Like, what the hell, man? Are you gonna scream insults in front of in a live game? Like, for example, he would be like, whenever there was this one time where Clayster made a bad play, and he ended up choking like maybe a 2-piece or something like that. I don't know. There was Clayster did something wrong, like he maybe died in search and destroy or something like that. The guy would stamp and scream at the top of his lungs, "That's why you got dropped, Clayster! You suck!" And he would just keep doing that, Not only would he scream, "I love you, Karma! I love you, Aches! I love you, TP! I love you, Crim6!" Or something along the lines of that. He would also say, "Optic sucks! Clayster, you suck! You got dropped for a reason!" He would keep screaming, hurling those kinds of insults, and a lot of people kind of were like, when he started doing that, they kind of like, you could see the crowd kind of look towards him a little bit, just like, the hell? Cause just give him that. A lot of people were giving him the stink eye, I could tell. But I mean, naturally, he's throwing insults at the most popular Call of Duty gaming competitive team out there. But that kind of got me thinking. Like, that kind of a dude is kind of like the trolls that you see online. Like, obviously, if any of you guys watch a lot of live streams, especially esports live streams, obviously there are always going to be those trolls where they say, "Oh, this team sucks, this specific player sucks, this game sucks, why do you do this?" It's just traditional trolls. You guys know who they are, and you guys know how they act. And this dude was basically one of those trolls in real life. Like, dude, what the hell? I came here for the hype, not to deal with trolls or anything. Like, what the hell, man? That ain't cool. But the more I thought about it, especially when I got home after that, the more I thought about it, I was like, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because how easy is it to troll in like a live stream setting? You know, you're anonymous. If you're just online typing away, flaming people, flaming players, flaming teams, flaming games from the comfort of your own home, you know, as much as you're watching it, you're also trolling from your house. No one's going to give you the stink eye for typing something, you know, malicious over the internet. Who the fuck cares? And but for this guy was full force troll mode and fucking, you know, screaming his butt off, fanboying over EG. That was his duty. That, I think, his main job was to rustle the jimmies of as many Optic fans as there were. I mean, if you're not doing that, if that's not your purpose, then why are you screaming, "Claser, you got dropped" at the top of your lungs? Without that kind of explanation, it doesn't really make much sense to me. But then again, maybe he had his own reasons. But in any case, so like I said, I kept thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, he's kind of obnoxious and all, but at least he's got the balls. He's got the balls to come out to a live event and absolutely troll the fuck out of people because, you know, that's because he knows he can do it. You know, it's kind of a weird mentality that I have. It's kind of like a tolerant slash slightly a slight admiration. It's like you have the balls. Like, what kind of a person are you to have the balls to scream Optic sucks in a crowd full of Optic fans? Like, that takes balls. Like, no joke. No real talk. That takes some serious balls of steel in order to do that. You know, you are clearly the underdog in terms of fan base. But for you to be able to cheer so wildly like that, I mean, yeah, sure, he was being obnoxious by throwing insults as well as, you know, screaming, "I love you, Karma!" But even still, it was kind of like one of those situations where it's like, well, that was interesting. And when I got back home, I was like, you know what, that guy, you know, he might be a douchebag, but I mean, at least he came out to watch. You know, at least he came out to the live venue itself instead of just, you know, sitting at home, typing away at the MLG.TV chat and saying, "I love you, Karma. Optic sucks." You know, at least he's got some balls. At least he can kind of put some backbone to his trolling. And you know, if there's any kind of troll that I would tolerate, it's those kinds of trolls where they actually will not be afraid to expose themselves and show themselves to the real world and proudly, you know, either proudly display their tendencies to troll, or just to proudly show that they're not a fan of a particular team. They're just or they're a fan of another particular team. You know, it's a lot better than, you know, someone just sitting behind their computer just fucking typing away in live stream chat. So, anyways, I just thought that was interesting. I don't really know what the message that I'm supposed to portray here or anything, but you know, I felt like that was an interesting kind of experience that I had at MLG Anaheim. So I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, and hope you guys thought it was pretty funny, because I thought it was at the time that it happened. So anyways, guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and hope you guys have enjoyed the commentary, and we'll see you guys later.